Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay, and on this channel we cover all things beauty and a whole lot of fragrance content. And today we are talking about the Maison Margiela Replica fragrance line. A while back, one of you guys asked me to kind of round up a few of their fragrances and of course let you guys know my thoughts on each one. I've been testing these for a few weeks, of course on and off, but I have put nice little dents in each and I'm ready to share some of my opinions. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna grab randomly. I'm not gonna grab in any particular order. As we all know, Replica is known for reminding us of different experiences, being very transportive, and I think they've done a phenomenal job at achieving that goal. So our first fragrance is Beach Walk, and this one does remind me of a hot summer day at the beach. I'm getting the aromas of the ocean, kind of salty, sunscreeny. In the opening, you do have that beautiful bergamot, which is very bright, very awakening. You have some spice in there from that pink pepper that I do get. And then the more it dries down, you get the coconut with the florals. And I feel like the florals with the musk kind of give me like a clean vibe, which I do enjoy on the dry down because I think it makes it smell more expensive, and it kind of reminds me of a bougie hotel. You have the aromas of the beach still on your skin and your immediate scent bubble, and then that's mixing with the beautiful scent of the hotel. That's kind of the vibe that I do get, and I really like it. So I will say the coconut is not as lactonic, thick, and creamy as some of my other favorites, but this one is really good nonetheless, and it's more affordable than say like Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. Next is When the Rain Stops. So this one is inspired by the joyful nature of spring and the thought of wet nature under the rays of a joyful rainbow. So literally it's supposed to remind you of the scent you would get after it rains. So very refreshing, calming. You know, sometimes after it rains, you do get that metallic scent, and I get like an earthy, spicy scent from this. Lots of spice, definitely pink pepper, which I wasn't really expecting. It's been a while since I smelled this scent. There's one in here that's very, very calming, very aquatic, and I thought it was this one, but I get it. You know, after it rains, again, like I said, you're gonna get that metallic scent. You're gonna get some more earthy tones, woody tones, damp nature after it rains. Do I want to smell like this? Not really. It smells less spicy, I'll say, and more likable on my skin, but this is not something that I would really reach for. In all honesty, I can appreciate the scent, maybe in a candle, but on my skin, I think it's gonna be a no for me. The notes of this are top notes of green notes, bergamot, and pink pepper, mid notes of watery notes, rain notes, Turkish rose, and jasmine, and base notes of pine tree, moss, and patchouli, and it's just not my favorite combination of notes, if I'm honest. You know, I get that damp, woody feel for sure. I feel like I definitely get that pink pepper 100%, and I think the pine tree is really sticking out to me with a bit of the moss, not too much of the patchouli, but I do get some green facets in there as well. I just think overall there's better fragrances out there, especially from Maison Margiela, so that one for me is gonna be a pass. If you like it, I love that for you. Next, I'm gonna go with, this is Bubble Bath. So I do remember liking this one. Of course, this one is going to be more soapy, and I don't really need to read the inspiration for this one because I can tell you it's supposed to remind you of a bubble bath, fresh, clean, soapy. Exactly. I think this one has lavender in there as well, which is quite aromatic, and this one I do find quite calming, clean, therapeutic. Like I really, really love this one. It makes me want to get loose. It makes me want to take a freaking bubble bath. It's been so long since I've done that. yeah, very calming, very great for a Sunday, for a day in. I would for sure buy a full bottle of this. Really soapy, so you have to like that, but yeah, musky, soapy, fresh, quite smooth as well, very clean. Yeah, I love this, I really do, and I think it's very realistic to what a bubble bath, the aromas of that does smell like. I'd also like this in a candle. Top notes are soap and bergamot, mid notes are lavender, jasmine, and rose, and base notes are coconut, white musk, and patchouli. I get no patchouli in this fragrance. I think it's so soft and so delicate, and if I smell coconut, not necessarily. If anything, like I said before, I think it's a very smooth blend. It's not too sharp, it's not irritating, it's really beautiful and very seamless, and I think the coconut for sure helps with that. It makes it just a little bit lactonic, which I actually really prefer. I think it's a beautiful scent combination, and like I said before, I really want a full bottle. Then Autumn Vibes really reminds me of the fall time. This one reminds me of being in the woods in the fall, damp leaves, trees, spice. This one is really, yeah, it smells kind of like damp forest, leaves, colors. Like, it's really painting a picture for me that is so beautiful. And yeah, I love the maple in here. That really sticks out to me. It adds in some sweetness, and yeah, this is one of the most fall-like fragrances in my entire collection. I would be open to getting this one in a big bottle. I just think that maybe I'd like some vanilla or almond cream, or even a really nice note of honey would make this more wearable to me, more tasty, because right now I don't know if it's more practical as a candle or as a perfume. And I mean, maybe I would add it to my collection to layer with perfumes. Like, first one that comes to mind is Bianco Latte. I think that would just be so mouth-watering for fall. So I'm not opposed to adding this to my collection. I'm just not in a huge rush to do so, but my gosh, epitome of fall right here. Really, really stunning. And I would say unisex for sure. So the top notes are cardamom and pink pepper. You for sure get the spice. Mid notes of nutmeg, maple, and carrot seeds. And base notes of cedar and moss. And guys, for those of you that don't know, I'm sure you guys can see it, but sometimes I speak a little bit differently now because I do have my Invisalign in. Sometimes I can't take it and I just take them out and film. I've been trying to be better about it, that way I'm tracking correctly. So that one is nice. Like I said before, I think it would make an amazing candle. Next is Under the Lemon Trees, and this is one I was really, really excited to smell. All about that citrus. Okay, for me, this one smells, it smells very green, kind of soapy to me as well. Yeah, green, aromatic, soapy, musky, little bit of spice mixed in there, but on the paper it's kind of reminding me of cleaning products, but on my skin, because I do really like this one, I think it actually gets sweeter, which I really like. It's sparkly, perfect for spring, very bright, and very, very aromatic. Like I said, I really do pick up on that lime as well as the lemon, and I think they play together beautifully without smelling like straight up soap or, like I said, you know, cleaning products. So I feel like some fragrances can tend to do that with those notes. This one actually does warm up on my skin to smell more smooth. So this one has top notes of lime, petitgrain, and cardamom. Mid notes are green tea, matte, and coriander. That's why it's so aromatic, I guess. And base notes of white musk, cedar, and rock rose. So those are the notes. Do I wish maybe it was a little sweeter, little smidgen sweeter? Maybe, but I think this is actually a really good one for the spring and summer. Next, I'm a little hurt because I did just drop and break it, but this is a beautiful, soft, gentle, aldehydic take on a marine fragrance. It's very soft, very clean. It's definitely giving like marine, but not in a way that is too dirty, not too one with the ocean. Very sparkly and very yeah, almost a little bit of like clean linen mixed in with that ocean breeze. So I just love this. I will say it is so soft that I don't necessarily know if I could justify the price point. I would like it to be maybe a touch, a smidge stronger, but at the same time, I really enjoy how soft this fragrance is, how subtle, because I think if it was stronger, it could potentially go a little bit too far on the marine side, and I love everything about this scent profile. I'd buy it, but probably on a sale. That's what I will say. So yeah, sailing day is really nice, and for sure I would say unisex. Then finally, something very feminine. We have Springtime in a Park. This one is so pretty and very pleasant, very likable. I couldn't see too many people disliking this fragrance, to be honest. If anything, maybe you think it was too basic, but I think it's really lovely, and I would add this to my collection, especially for those days where you just want to smell pleasant, you want to smell good, you don't want to think about it. It's effortless, it's sweet, fruity, floral, musky, quite fresh, a little green. Yeah, I could totally see myself wearing this one on a picnic date in the park or just for every day. Very easy reach, like I said, and yeah, if you like lily of the valley, pear, musk, this is amazing and pretty uplifting as well. Very nice fragrance, and I would love to have this one in a big bottle. Next is Lazy Sunday Morning. This one is pretty clean, powdery, and aldehydic. It's a musky rose fragrance. I really enjoy that this one reminds me of clean sheets, clean laundry, and it's a scent that I do recommend if you want to smell very clean, very put together, and yeah, very fresh. I like this one, and I like the fact that they did incorporate the rose because I do think it's a very feminine take on a clean laundry fragrance. So really pretty. This is really strong. It's for sure one where in the opening, it's a little too sharp for me, but as it does dry down, I like the way it develops on my skin to be a bit softer. Next is Jazz Club, and Jazz Club is a very unique, attention-grabbing fragrance in my opinion. I feel like this one, if you wore it out and about, people would be very intrigued. It's bold, it's confident to me, it is a little sexy. I really love how warm and boozy it is. There is some rum in here, which I find very, very beautiful. And then you have that dry tobacco with the vanilla, some spice, and it's just different to a lot of the fragrances in my collection. Unfortunately, I can't give an in-depth review of this one only because I feel like it's a bit much for me right now in Florida. Ever since I've had this one, I've just not got a chilly day. So eventually in the fall and winter when it's a little bit more chilly, I think this one will be perfect for a night out. And like I said before, I feel like this one really is attention grabbing. Honestly, very beautiful fragrance from the line, and I feel like this one is unisex, would smell amazing on a man, and women can absolutely pull it off. We have our chestnuts roasting on an open fire. This is by the fireplace, so of course it's woody, it's smoky, it's warm, it's sweet, it's quite nutty with that chestnut, and then you do have the spice coming from the cloves and the pink pepper. I feel like there's a good bit of vanilla in here. I have to say, as you guys can see, I do have it in a travel as well. It's not a fragrance that I'm rushing to get a bigger bottle of because in all honesty, I don't always want to smell like I'm by the fireplace, if that makes sense. But for the occasions that I do want to smell very inviting, comforting, very warm, this is one that I do gravitate towards. So this one has top notes of cloves, pink pepper, and orange blossom, mid notes of chestnut, guaiac wood, and juniper. and base notes of vanilla, parabalsam, and cashmere. And I will say the longer that it sits, in my opinion, it has gotten sweeter, which I was really happy about. That is all for the Discovery set, but I also got these two with my purchase. So first we have, this one is from the Garden. Yeah, no, I do not like bitter. It's very green, it's very earthy, and it's spicy. Just not my vibe. It smells like it came from the garden, and that is just, it's kind of bitter. Just not my favorite at all. Not something I'd ever pay money for, not even on a sale. That is probably one of my least favorite scents, yeah, that I've ever smelled. I really dislike it. So that one has notes of, top notes of tomato leaf and green mandarin, and mid notes of geranium with a base note of patchouli. Yeah, everything about that I despise. So yeah, that is my least favorite in all honesty from this video so far. And then On a Date is a little better, but like still not my vibe. This one is a very like dirty patchouli rose fragrance. It smells like it's trying too hard, and there's some black currant in there for sure. I do like that part of it, but gosh, there's even something in this that kind of reminds me of like a wet rag that's been sat for days. If you know what I'm saying. Like, just a bad, fruity, patchouli rose fragrance. Really musty and like dirty and just... Gosh, maybe that one is worse. It's really hard to say which one I despise more, but I don't like either. That one has top notes of black currant syrup, pink pepper, and bergamot, mid notes of rose, geranium, and davana, and base notes of patchouli, moss, musk, and vetiver. And again, I'm so sorry. If you guys love this scent, I think that's great. Let me see the star rating on Fragrantica. It has a 3.44, so I mean, some people really like it. I personally don't, but if it smells good on you, I think that's amazing. And then two that I didn't have in samples, but that I do have in my collection are Coffee Break, beautiful lavender coffee scent. Really smooth. There's some spice in there. There's some woods. I feel like this one is a sexy coffee fragrance. I'd for sure wear it on a coffee date. Really love this one. Very relaxing, very calming. And like I said, I feel like that spice with the woods makes it more unisex and makes it more, for me, attractive. So really beautiful scent. Can't go wrong. There's also a note of milk in there, which I think makes the whole fragrance very smooth and seamless, at least on the dry down, because at first it can be very sharp and very perfumey. And then our final fragrance and their newest release is Afternoon Delight. And by the way, doing this video made me realize that they need some more sweet gourmands. Replica, if you're listening, please give us some more sweet goodies. This one is beautiful. The more I use it, the more I love it. And it has the most beautiful, sweet, lactonic sandalwood and vanilla. I love that extra fluffy kind of biscuity scent that I get from it as well, which I do believe is coming from that Madeleine note. Absolutely mouth-watering. It is edible, but in a way to me that is a little bit more elegant with the sandalwood, with the musk. I love this. I think it's very, very wearable. I would just say, if you are gonna smell this in store, please don't put it on the paper. Whatever you guys do, I swear there's like this really weird rancid chemical scent every time I try to put it on paper. I just do not like it, and so on my skin it's a whole different story. I love the way it warms up. I love the way it develops. It smells so scrumptious, really making my mouth water even now. But yeah, Replica, please, whatever you guys do, make more fragrances like this. We need more gourmands. I really, really enjoy this one. So yeah, besties, those are my thoughts on the Maison Margiela Replica fragrances I've tried. If you guys have thoughts to share, please do so. I'd love to know your top 3 from the line. I always do top 3. Let's do top 5 if you've tried a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the good things, and let me know what brand should I do this with next. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!